Hello students, today we will discuss about Poisson bracket formalism. So we'll be looking at what you mean by Poisson bracket and what are its properties, and we will deduce what are fundamental Poisson bracket, and we'll express equation of motion in Poisson brackets. So what do you mean by Poisson bracket formalism? So we can consider a Poisson bracket of any two functions, for example u and v, which are actually the functions of canonical coordinates small q and small p. So with respect to the canonical variables, we can define Poisson bracket between those functions, and it is given as u v Poisson bracket, which is a square bracket, and in suffix it is showing q comma p, which means we are taking Poisson bracket with respect to small q and small p. So it is defined as dou the variation of partial derivative of the first function with respect to q into the partial derivative of second function with respect to p minus, then we'll take the partial differential in the opposite order, that is dou u with respect to p and the second function with respect to q, and this would be there, such n terms would be there for n generalized coordinates. That is why a summation is there. Okay, so it is very easy to remember. U varying with respect to q into v with respect to p minus, then reverse the order of differential. Okay, so for one dimension we can write it as if only one generalized coordinate and corresponding momenta are there. We can simply write without any sigma summation, that is dou u by dou q into dou v by dou p minus dou u by dou q dou p into dou v by dou q. And you need not write always this suffix, it is implied. So you just have to write it as square bracket u comma v. Now in 3D form, there would be three set of generalized coordinates and its corresponding momentum. So you'll have three such terms. Here you can see dou u by dou q1 into dou v by dou p1 minus, then reverse order, dou u by dou p1 into dou v by dou q1 plus. So this is applicable for q2 as well as q3. So if there are n dimensional system, it would have n such terms. Now let us see what are the properties of Poisson bracket. The first property is it obeys antisymmetric property. Antisymmetry means if you reverse the order of the Poisson bracket, then you will get a negative sign. And this can be easily proved using the definition. You just have to apply the definition of Poisson bracket onto the right hand side, and to the left hand side you already know it. So then you can see that it is just the negative of the other. And similarly you can prove a Poisson bracket of a function with itself will be 0, because these will be the similar. So the first term minus second term would be similar, so they will cancel out. So all these properties can be proved using the basic definition of Poisson bracket. So a Poisson bracket of a function with respect to a constant would be 0, because dou c by dou p and dou c by dou q, those are constants, no? So the differentials of constant will be 0, so both the terms will be 0. Similarly you can see a constant into a function and the Poisson bracket with another function will give out a constant into Poisson bracket of those two functions. And similar thing, distributive law, you can see a u plus bb, where a and b are constants, comma Poisson bracket with w function will be equal to a into u comma w plus b into v comma w. So all these can be easily proved. You just have to apply the definition in both sides and show that they are equal. both sides, sorry. Similarly, u is taken Poisson bracket with product of two functions, then it would be v into u comma w plus u comma v into w. And you can also take time derivative, partial derivative with respect to time of Poisson bracket, then it would be, it's like product rule, like Poisson bracket of dou u by dou t with v plus u, Poisson bracket of u with dou v by dou t. And that another property is a cyclic permutation is followed by double Poisson bracket. Here you can see a Poisson bracket is taken between u and another Poisson bracket v comma w. So it is a double Poisson bracket. So if you arrange in a sum, if you take the sum in a cyclic order, that is u is taken Poisson bracket with v and w, then you will consider v taking Poisson bracket with w and u plus w taken Poisson bracket with u and v will be equal to 0, and such a property is called Jacobi's identity. So all these properties can be easily proved using the definition of Poisson bracket. Now another important factor we are going to study is the fundamental Poisson bracket. So if you consider the definition of Poisson bracket and we'll substitute for v as qk, then what would be that? Instead of v, I can write dou qk by dou pi minus dou u by dou pi into dou qk by dou qi. So what is the thing that you notice is that there is a differential of q with respect to p as well as differential of q with respect to q. So you know q and p are generalized coordinates. So q will be independent of p, and hence this term, the first term, would go to 0. So the only term that is remaining is second term with a negative sign. So negative summation I equal to 1 to 1 dou u by dou pi into dou qk by dou qi. Now again you can say that a coordinate is dependent only on itself. It doesn't have any other dependence on any other coordinates. So you can see this will have a non-zero value only if qk is differentiated with qk itself. In all other case it will be 0. That means whenever k is equal to I, you will have the function is equal to 1, differential to be 1, while in all other cases it is 0. So we can replace this using Kronecker delta. We are familiar with that. Kronecker delta, whenever k is equal to I, the value of Kronecker delta is 1, while whenever it is not equal to 0, then the value is 0. Now you can see in the summation, again Kronecker, the presence of Kronecker delta will retain only a single term. Which is the single term? Yes, it is when k is equal to 1 only this have a non-zero value. So the only non-zero term will be dou minus there and dou u by dou p k. That is whenever I become k, that is the only non-zero term. So you have Poisson bracket of u with respect to u and qk will be given by minus dou u by dou pk. Now what we do? Now we do consider, instead of u, I'll take another coordinate ql. So ql comma qk, you can just substitute minus dou ql by dou pk will be equal to, again the same comment is applicable here also. Q is independent of p, so this will be equal to 0. So that is our first fundamental Poisson bracket. A coordinate, if it is taken with itself or any of the coordinate, then the Poisson bracket will be equal to 0. Now in order to get the second fundamental Poisson bracket, what you do, instead of ql, I'll substitute pl. So now you can again do here, what is it, pl comma qk will be equal to minus dou u, instead of u, pl by dou pk. So here also you can see p is depend only on itself. So whenever L become equal to k, you will get 1, otherwise it is 0. So we can again replace it with Kronecker delta. So here you can see, and if I reverse the order and asymmetric properties there, so Poisson bracket of qk comma pl will be equal to negative and negative will cancel off, the remaining is delta kl. So that is second Poisson, fundamental Poisson bracket. And the third Poisson bracket is, if you take Poisson bracket of momentum with any other momentum or itself, then it would be equal to 0. So how do you arrive at this? First you have to substitute for v as pk instead of qk, and you can do the similar thing and you will get it as dou u by dou qk, and then you just have to substitute with pl. So substituting with pl, you will get it as pl comma pk will be equal to 0. So this one you can do yourself and obtain the third fundamental Poisson bracket as well. So the next thing we are going to see is about equation of motion. So what are we going to do is, we'll first take the total time derivative of a function, and that is given by, we are familiar with that, u is a function of small q, p and time t. So then du by dt can be written as u is dependent upon q, so it is dou u by dou qi into q is varying dependent upon time, so dq by dt, which is qi dot, plus another dependencies on p, so it is dou u by dou pi into pi dot, plus and the last dependence is all on time, so dou u by dou t. Now we make use of Hamilton's equations of motion. So here you can see q, instead of qi dot I can write dou h by dou pi, and instead of pi dot I can write minus dou h by dou qi. So what you get will be dou u by dou qi into dou h by dou pi. So this looks like the first term in Poisson bracket between u and h, minus dou u by dou pi into dou h by dou qi, and this looks like second term in the definition of Poisson bracket. Here you can see. So instead of first and second term, I can write it as Poisson bracket of u with h, plus third term, that is dou u by dou t. Okay. So now what we do, we'll substitute u as qi. Okay. So you'll get dqi by dt is equal to qi h Poisson bracket plus dou qi by dou t, and q doesn't have any explicit dependence on time, so this partial derivative will be 0, and hence you can get qi dot dqi by dt is qi dot is equal to Poisson bracket of qi with Hamiltonian. Similarly, so that is the first equation of motion, qi dot equals qi Poisson bracket of qi with Hamiltonian, which is equivalent to what? Equivalent to the first equation of motion. And similarly, if you consider u is equal to pi, then you will get dpi by dt, substituting over here, so it will be equal to Poisson bracket of pi with h plus dou pi by dou t. Again, p doesn't have an explicit dependence area, so that will be 0. It has only indirect dependence, that is why pi dot is equal to Poisson bracket of pi with h. And remember, there is no minus sign in the Poisson bracket, while that is there in the case of normal equation of motion. Now the last one, you just have to substitute u with h, so it will be dh by dt equals h with h Poisson bracket plus dou h by dou t. And you know, if you take any function with respect with Poisson bracket of any function with itself, then it would be 0, so h dot will be equal to dou h by dou t itself. So these three are the equations of motion. And another fact that is observed from this part, that is the total time derivative of any function is given by, you have a function which is dependent upon canonical variable sin time t, and if you take the total time derivative, you have the function as expression as Poisson bracket of u with h plus dou u by dou t. So if the function is constant of motion, then you can see it would be du by dt will be equal to 0, which implies u h Poisson bracket plus dou u by dou t will be equal to 0. And another assumption is that if the function doesn't have any explicit time dependence, what do you mean by that? That is, in the expression, if u was dependent only on q and p, not on time, then dou u by dou t will be 0. So corresponding to so this equation would become Poisson bracket of function with Hamiltonian will be equal to 0. So that could be taken as a check for checking whether a given function is constant of motion. How do you check it? You just have to get the Hamiltonian of the system and just take the given function with the Hamiltonian, Poisson bracket of given function with Hamiltonian. If that seems to be 0, then you can confirm that u is constant of motion, as well as it doesn't have explicit dependence on time. So we'll end with this. So we have seen Poisson bracket formalism, and in the next session we will discuss what is the relevance of such a mathematical concept. Okay, thank you.